right outside, so come on in, don't be shy. We've got ghosts and UFOs. Brace yourself, get ready for the show. Don't be afraid of the dark, the fun's about to start. Nightmares or tales will inspire. Oh, tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Have you heard tell of a demon next door? Or maybe a cryptid on the lake shore? There's nothing too strange for us here, so if you're ready, stamp out your fear. Don't be afraid of the dark, the fun's about to start. Nightmares or tales will inspire. Tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Whoa, whoa.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 34 of the Scaredy Campfires. The fire crackles tonight, not just with warmth, but with memory. Some memories are gentle things, soft as ashes in the wind. Others cling like smoke, impossible to wash away. Tonight's stories lead us into the shadows of recollection, where what we remember might not remember as kindly in return. Tonight's story comes from Reddit user u/Jin's Midnight Cafe. A housekeeper accepted a job cleaning a house with one rule: never go to the locked third floor. But when a haunting love song starts playing from above, she can't help but look inside. And what she finds is far more than she bargained for. So the story goes on. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Thyme was laid off from her job, seeking new work. She signed up as a house cleaner through an app. To her surprise, the pay was quite good, so she continued cleaning houses and apartments across Bangkok and its vicinity. One particular day, she received a booking for a house that was quite a distance away. Despite the travel, she confirmed the job as she really needed the money. Upon arriving at the house, Thyme met her client, Jonathan, a tall European man with blonde hair. He instructed her to clean only the first and second floors, and to never, under any circumstances, enter the third floor. Jonathan then left for work, leaving Thyme alone with his dog. As she was cleaning the second floor, she started hearing noises from above. Thud, thud, thud. The sound were like the loud footsteps on the third floor, as if someone was jumping. Soon after, loud music began blasting from the same floor. The lyrics from More Than Words, a classic by Extreme, specifically saying "I love you," played on repeat. Thyme assumed Jonathan probably didn't want her to disturb the person upstairs. She didn't think much of it and continued with her work. Jonathan was happy with Thyme's cleaning and would hire her repeatedly. During these recurring visits, she would sometimes catch a glimpse of the person upstairs, a tall lady with perpetually wet hair. What remained constant was the rhythmic thudding from above and that haunting melody, saying "I love you." One day, Jonathan booked Thyme for an 8-hour session. This time, he unexpectedly told her to clean the third floor as well, instructing her to finish the first 2 floors first. Thyme was surprised but happy for the extra work. That day, Jonathan took his dog out, leaving Thyme completely alone to clean the house. 6 hours passed and Thyme finished the first 2 floors. Now for the third. Jonathan had previously told her the door was locked, but when she got upstairs, it wasn't. She snapped a picture of the doorknob and jokingly texted Jonathan, "Are you kidding me?" Jonathan was confused by her message, but Thyme went in anyway. She expected the room to be incredibly dirty, as she'd never seen the person upstairs come down. Surely there must be plates or food packaging left behind. To her astonishment, the room was empty. The air felt stuffy, as if it had been unused for an extended period, stagnant and lacking ventilation. How strange, Thyme thought. The room did have a large speaker and a large bed. On the wall was a wedding picture of a beautiful blonde woman and Jonathan. That must be Jonathan's wife, Thyme assumed as she began cleaning. As she cleaned, Thyme decided to use her phone to listen to some music. A fan of rock, she started her rock song playlist. When she finished the main room, she moved to the bathroom and began cleaning there. After a while, she suddenly heard saying, "I love you." Wait, what? Thyme was utterly confused. She clearly had her rock playlist on, but her hands were wet, so she continued cleaning the bathroom. Yet the same song, saying "I love you," kept playing with different versions, concert versions, live versions appearing. This went on for about 20 minutes until she finally stopped her music, deciding to listen to something else. She put on the Ghost Radio's Ghost Stories for company, finding that listening to the host, P. Jack, had a calming effect on her. As she was cleaning the bathtub, a ghostly wet figure emerged from the wall and turned towards her. The ghost's skin was wet and puffy as it filled with water. It smiled at her creepily and then retreated back into the wall. Shocked, Thyme ran as fast as she could out of the door, shouting and screaming. She quickly contacted Jonathan, yelling at him to come back. Jonathan arrived and finally spilled the truth. It was Jessica, his deceased wife, who had passed away about 3 years ago. Jonathan admitted he had cheated on Jessica and was caught by her when he was on a date with his mistress. Furious, Jonathan, instead of apologizing, shouted back at her, leading to a heated argument. Jessica finally declared, "It's either her or me that dies," as she retreated home. Jonathan did nothing and decided to wait 3 days for his anger to cool off before returning home. When he got back, the house was silent. Immediately, Jonathan had a bad feeling and rushed to the master bedroom on the 3rd floor. The door was locked, so Jonathan broke it open, only to find an empty room filled with bottles of alcoholic drinks. He then ran to the bathroom, discovering it was also locked. Again, he broke open the door, only to find his lifeless wife lying in the bathtub. Her body was bloated, and her skin was filled with blood and pus, oozing out and mixing with the water in the tub. Judging from the decay, the forensics team estimated she must have passed away around 3 or 4 days prior. But that wasn't all. On the walls, a bloody handwriting wrote something along the lines of being with Jonathan always, never leaving him ever, and that he would never have another love, as she would always be with him. After that incident, Jonathan had the audacity to bring his mistress to the exact same house, and the two started living together, even buying a dog. But Jessica's ghost relentlessly haunted the mistress, causing her to break up with Jonathan and leave. Only the dog remained in Jonathan's care. Any other time he tried to start a new relationship, it would inevitably collapse. Jonathan even commented that Thyme was the only house cleaner who had managed to stay for long enough. The previous cleaners would never last this long. Shocked, Thyme decided to go home. As she was leaving, she heard someone whisper in her ear, "You forgot something." Thyme thought maybe it was just stress and continued on her way. As she was checking her cleaning equipment at home, she noticed one of her cleaning tools was missing, but she never went back to that house ever again. This experience traumatized her so much that she decided to quit, despite the high pay. Thyme never returned to that house, but she says the experience stayed with her long after, like someone unseen followed her home. Even now, she feels the weight of that song echoing in her mind, a reminder that some spirits never truly leave, and some promises are impossible to forget. Our second story tonight comes from Reddit user u/justadudegaming. After a friend spoke forbidden words from the Dead Sea Scrolls, strange and terrifying things began happening in his basement, the place he called his room. Shadows, whispers, and a presence so dark it seemed to want him gone. What followed was a haunting that blurred the line between nightmare and reality. Let me start off by saying I don't know if this all really happened, as if it is memories of dreams that I have had. I used to have a friend that would come over every single weekend and play video games in the basement. He asked if one of his friends can come over and spend the weekend playing video games as well. I've met him before, but I didn't really know him personally. I said sure, why not? His friend started talking about weird things randomly out of the blue, and then started talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls. He said if you start talking about Dead Sea Scrolls, weird things will start to happen. I asked him not to, and then he started talking about one particular one by the name of Belial. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, particularly in the War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness, Belial is depicted as the leader of the Sons of Darkness and the antithesis of God. He is described as an angel of hostility and a source of wickedness and guilt. The scrolls portray Belial as the leader of forces that oppose God's rules, and the Son of Light. Nothing started happening right away. But I started getting weird feelings in the basement, like constantly being watched or something did not want me in the basement. I slept in the basement. That was my room. Any time that I would go into the laundry room, it felt like there was a negative presence in there wanting to do harm to me. It felt like it hung out near the far end of the laundry room. Any time that I would go in there, I would try to not look into that direction. I was so scared of the laundry room, I would keep the door closed at all times. Even with the door closed, I would feel like there was negative energy coming from that room every time that I would leave the basement. I would make sure that I did close the door and verify it sometimes, but not all times. I'll come back downstairs and the door would be open to some degree. Whenever I would go to sleep, it would feel like something was right there watching me. I would do the typical thing that young kids do and throw the blankets over my head, feeling something there. I'd be so scared I would be stiff as a board and not move at all, thinking if it thinks that I went to sleep, maybe it would leave me alone. This is when my sleep paralysis started. There was times where I'd wake up and feel my bed shaking, and other nights I'd wake up falling onto my bed with such a force that would wake me up as if I was levitating or something, and then falling back down onto the bed. One morning I had an episode of sleep paralysis and felt something breathing in my ear and heard come with me as soon as I can move. You could bet I was out of that basement as fast as I could be. I also used to feel people sitting on the edge of my bed. I could feel the mattress compress. There's also one night that I got up to use the washroom and hit my toe on the door frame because I couldn't see anything. It was pitch black and all the lights were off. Every single light was on, including floor lamps and my desk lamp, not to mention the door to the laundry room was open and the lights were on around this time. I started getting very violent with people and frustrated with people that they did not believe anything. Now, all that part you just read, I know to be true, and it actually happened. This part, I do not know if it is true or if it is memories of dreams that I've had. I remember with all my force trying to hold that door closed on the laundry room and feeling like there was something that was super strong on the other side trying to push it open. I would hear voices that I could recognize and not recognized calling out to me and telling me to come downstairs. And some reason I would go downstairs as soon as I let my guard down. Something like a black shadow would come rushing at me from the laundry room and I would fly up those basement stairs as quickly as I could. This part is true. I'd be playing video games in the basement by myself and I would hear the door creak open and I would leave the basement. I feel like there was something behind me, just millimeters behind me. I moved out of the basement and back upstairs into a bedroom and was having negative feelings about the basement. Also having dreams about the basement. I told one of my mom's friends that was practiced witchcraft and was told that they would take care of it, and they proceeded to smudge the house with sage after the process was finished. I no longer felt scared of the basement and no longer felt any kind of negative presence in the basement. I moved back into the basement and never had a negative experience in the house again. I don't know if this had anything to do with this, but after the process was done and I stopped having negative feelings, after that I started having dreams that would take place in the medieval times. It would be the same dream every time. For some reason, during a big battle, I was loaded up into a catapult and fired into the air and wake up just before I hit the ground. The reason I decided to post this today is because I've recently started having dreams about my dreams of that basement repeating itself, but I don't remember myself dreaming about them. When I wake up, it's the first thing that's on my mind. The nights that this happens, I'm usually tossing and turning violently. I don't know what to make of all this. I'll let you be the judge of it. Through the house was cleansed. The dreams never stopped. To this day, the user wakes, trapped between memories and nightmares. Visions of ancient battles in the basement that refused to let go. Sometimes the darkest shadows live not just in places, but in the mind itself. That closes out episode 34, Campers. The past has a way of following footprints, no matter how deep they fade. Maybe the echoes we hear aren't echoes at all, just things that never truly ended. Until next time, keep your fires burning low, your eyes wide open, and your mind ready for what the dark might still recall.
As the night gets longer and the darkness creeps in, with the eerie silence broken only by whispering wind, come gather round the fire, the flickering flames, and hear the tales of the spooky and the strange. Chill up your back, a shiver up your spine. You'll be haunted by the things that you find. Legends will unfold and stories will be told at the scary